I got you. I'm good.
All right.
I'm home with them.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is What He Said with Kevin Walker. I got my main man, Terry O'Neill, to the right of me right here. What's up, T?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy New Year. It's been a minute.
Been a minute. Man, it's going to be a fun, interesting show tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some good conversation. My man, Cedric Davenport, is going to be on here with us as well. Sid had, I guess, a quick conversation to have because he was here. And then he said, bro, I'm going to hit you right back. He was here, so he'll be right back. When he come back on, I'll pop him back in along with me and T. But we got some interesting stuff tonight. So why do men cheat? That's the one everybody wants to come in on. Everybody has something to say about it. So we're going to definitely discuss why men cheat from the perspective of men, of course, and we're men. So don't be saying, well, a woman and a woman, because we can't tell you what a woman feels because we're men. All three of the guys that's going to be on the panel tonight are definitely men, so we can't give you nothing from a female perspective. Also, we're going to talk about the introduction. So if your current boo introduce an ex to you, should she say he's an ex or should she call him a friend? Hey, T, this is my friend DeWarn. No, that nigga is your ex. That nigga ain't your motherfucking friend, because do you want a dude in your home hanging out like one of the fellas that done fucked your wife? I mean, I'm just saying. So I think you're an ex for a reason. Give yourself that proper title. So we're going to discuss that as well. But before we do any of those two topics, we're going to start from the perspective of family. Just a talking point. I wanted to start with family tonight. I wanted to start from the sibling perspective. Terry lost his brother years ago. His sister Michelle is sweet as pie. Of course, everybody knows just recently my brother passed away in March of last year, who was a big brother to really both T and I for years. And I do have a sister who is like the mirror image of what Terry has in his sister Michelle. My sister Raquette, that was raised right here on Thrush Street between Bay City, Texas and Houston, and graduated from Jones High School. And man, we just want to talk the sibling effect to start the show tonight. Then we're gonna get into all the messy stuff. So Terry, just tell me, man, we're gonna talk about our sisters first. So just from the perspective of being able to talk about Michelle, man, what has Michelle, and maybe even from the influence of her marriage, being married to a wonderful man in Melbourne all the many, many years, what have you learned or what have you picked up, and what does your sister mean to you as a big sister?
I ain't picked up shit. No, I'm just playing.
I know you're lying.
You know, my sister has always been there for me. When wasn't nobody else there for me. Of course, y'all know I ain't no angel. Shit, probably ain't no halo ever been on my head, but my sister was there for me. My sister's always been there for me. I'm gonna go a step further because, you know, Kevin only mentioned my sister. He didn't mention my brother. You know, and it's kind of.
I mentioned him. I said we're gonna talk about our brother's influence.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't mention yourself.
Oh no, I was talking about
you understand? The
biological. I'm talking biological.
Again, you ain't mention yourself. You know what I'm saying? If anybody know me, they know Kevin. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
This man has been more of a brother or family member to me than 80% of my family. You know, Cain killed Abel. You know what I'm saying? So in itself, it speaks for itself. You know, people, and then I must say this. You know, people all the time if you have if you're a family oriented person and your family is all there 100, more power to you. At the same time, there's some family members out there ain't worth shit, and I'm gonna be 100. They ain't worth two nickels rubbed together. You know, so for me, it's who's always been there for me, from the word say go till this present. You know what I'm saying? Well, from the good days to the bad times. Period. You know that's you know, and I say family, but that's why I specify Kevin. That's my brother. If I call Kevin at any time and say, hey man, I need where you at? What you need? Period. And I with him. It's never no with some family. Hey man, if I call Kevin and say, hey man, I need a cosign. What you get? What you get that Benz? Whatever it is, he's not gonna hesitate. But I have family members and had family members that said, no, I ain't gonna be able to. And that's fine because I know where we stand. Like, again, those of you that have good family, I'm happy for you. Y'all invite me to some of y'all shit because I want to meet them cool motherfuckers. But at the end of the day, everybody can't say that family is everything because it's not. That's the reality of it. Cause shit, some of the families is bitches too, straight up. You know, and if you live long enough, you want to check your family, ask to borrow some money. That's how you check your friends and family. Ask to borrow some money. That's gonna tell it off. Ah man, I ain't got it. That nigga just got paid today.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I ain't got it, man. Man, Kyle Jujun, that's your other cousin. He'll help you. They always trying to tell you where else to go.
Yeah.
You know, I got a friend that I know this dude. Me and this dude been knowing each other for a minute. This dude got sick, almost died. When he called me, and he would call me, we probably talk twice a year, or we might hang out twice a year. When he called me crying, man, this what's going on with me, man. I mean, all you and Tika's all I got, y'all all the family I got here. All right, tugged on my heartstring. Gave him $2,000 to help him so he wouldn't lose his shit. I ain't heard from him. But guess what? When I gave it to him, I was never looking for it back because my dad always told me, if you can't stand to give somebody something, don't give it to him. Because you're gonna be always wanting it back. Guess what? 2 days after I gave it to him, I had it back. We done. But it's always gonna be fixed. So they gotta come see you again.
Mm-hmm.
Always. So for as family go, I'm cool with family. As far as family go.
Yeah, for myself, just personally, like when we talk about my sister from that perspective, man, there's nothing like my sister. There's nobody that I can honestly tell you other than my daughter as a female that's probably meant more to me than what my sister has meant. And the reason why I say that is the examples or the stage that my sister set for us to uphold and for us to follow. I don't know and I hear all the time people say there is no perfect person. And I'm with that. I believe that. But what I've seen from Michelle, who's Terry's sister, and Raquette, who's my sister, like, man, I don't know if it gets any closer to being perfect than those two individuals, man. And I can say without a doubt with my sister, there is nothing on God's green earth that I could ever need that she wouldn't be there for me for. I've been sick right here in Houston and she lives in San Diego and laying in a hospital bed and I look up, guess who coming through the door? You know, away from San Diego, you know, couldn't wait to hop a flight to get here just to put her eyes on me. Yep. And when I speak of putting eyes on somebody, that was my brother. That was Rodney. That's what I miss most about Rodney. And he went on later on. They started calling him Craig Shelton, which is his middle name and my mom and our family's maiden name. We're Sheltons. So That was my brother saying that he always said, hey, I need to put my eyes on you. I need to see you. So I'd go stop by sometime after work or because he had trouble with his vision and stopped driving later on in life. But when we talk about the brother effect, everything about pretty much who I am as a sports guy, my brother paved and laid that foundation. I remember being 6, 7, and 8 years old in the backyard and him teaching me my holes. This the 2 hole, this the 4, this the 6, this the 8, this where the 3-back goes, this where the 2-back. He's the first guy who really taught me fundamentals of football 101. For everybody who respect my football knowledge and respect where I come from as it relates to football and being an athlete and being a coach for as many years as I coached Little League, my brother laid that foundation. Now watch this. My brother didn't only lay that foundation for me. If you stayed on Thrush Street, your ass was going to play football or Roger was going to fight you.
Yep.
One or the other. You was going to come out here in the street and we played touch in the street, tackle on the sideline or in the grass. And that was who we were. Man, it was me, Terry, Moonhead, which is Mike Wallace, Darryl McClinton, Kevin McClinton, IJ, his brother Herb, Quentin when Quentin could come outside, because you know Quentin couldn't come outside that much. Chad, no, I don't think Chad never played.
No.
But it was a plethora of at least 10 of us, because Barry would come around here and play sometimes. So there was always more than enough boys for us to strike up a game of football. Football was what we played. Football was what we did.
So on the flip side of that, Big Brother Rodney gave him all the tools that he needed for the sports. I did the girl shit. Yeah. I did. Cheating, I ain't teach him how to cheat. That wasn't me. But, yeah, enough said. Go ahead.
So what I was going to touch on last is the brother from a different mother aspect. Because just because your blood don't always make you family. Right. The one thing I'm going to always do is respect other people's place and other people's perspective on things. Just because Terry don't fool with or mad at or don't fuck with somebody, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you what that does have something to do with. If it come to a place on some real bullshit and you are for real enemy based on some for real whole shit you did, then I would say, yeah, at that point, I can't fuck with you no more because this is my brother. Mm-hmm. I would say the same thing with Sarah Jenkins. When it comes to a real perspective of not fucking with or fooling with somebody, hey man, we're not gonna double cross each other. I don't care if it's another dude. I don't care if it's a woman. The one thing I tell them all the time, man, we ain't gonna never ever, and sometimes some conversations don't even have to be had, but we ain't gonna even never fall out on no woman. We're gonna stay in our place. We're gonna respect where each other is in life. Mm-hmm. And as much time and as much as we can be around each other, because we all got lives, we all got situations, we all got jobs, and we all have obligations to fill to kids and everything else. But as much time, honestly, as we can spend with each other, hey man, we can't wait to get in each other's presence because we always have a damn good time and it ain't never no drama. Here's what I tell people. When you want to say what a friend is, a true brother, when you start using the word brother to people, me and this man been knowing each other, I'm going to say since we were 10. I'm going to say 10. Right. He was probably 12 because he's 2 years older than me. But I'm at least say 10, honestly. So I'm 53 now, so that's 40 plus years of friendship. One thing we've never, ever done is had a disagreement or an argument. Right. Because I'm going to respect his perspective. He going to respect mine. Now, we ain't got to agree to respect something. That don't mean we agree about everything. Right. But we respect each other's perspective. Hey, man, regardless of who Terry O'Neill was or has been or situations that arose in his life, I would never, ever, and I have never turned my back on my brother. Never. Never. And I put that on everything I love, man. This dude has been more of a family member and a brother to me than some of my other blood cousins who he just said himself, hey, I don't fuck with at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just my perspective. That's my truth. That's my truth.
You know, I just had an argument. Well, it wasn't an argument, it was a discussion yesterday. Me and my wife about this same topic. And y'all, I wish y'all not. I had more arguments with my wife about Kevin, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. But yesterday, we was talking about this same exact topic, and she asked me. She said, "You got a key to your brother's house?" I said, "Nope." I said, "He tried to give me one." I said, "But I would."
I was going to say, I tried to give you.
Yeah. I said, I didn't take it because if you see a strange key on my ring, that's a fight right there. Because you're going to swear it's a bitch's house. You got a key to a bitch house. Or if I got a key to Kevin's house, then I'm taking bitches to Kevin's house. That's how women think, man. Fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So we argue about that shit all the time. And then when Kevin put the topic up this morning, she say, "Did you talk to your brother?" About what? No, I ain't talked to him. Well, he put that same shit up we was talking about last night. Okay, well, what that tell you? It ain't just coincidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is what it is, man. But yeah, let's get into this shit, man. Because y'all popcorn ready.
Since it's out there, let's run with it. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you your perspective first and let you go. So why is it, T? Why is it that you think men cheat?
Well, first and foremost, let me say this because my wife listens. I ain't never, ever cheated. Not never, ever in my motherfucking life have I ever cheated. Okay? Now, we got that shit out the way because see, yeah. But you know, if you ask 100 men this question, you're gonna get 100 different answers. And honestly, I believe it's where that person is in life at that time. Now, you have men that, you know, men always talk about you can't turn a whore into a housewife. Well, that same shit apply to men. You know, you got some men out there that if every time they see a big butt and smile, they gone that way.
Yeah.
You know, or as my mama used to say,
somebody said because vagina is really good.
but that's at some point, you know, I mean, I understand if you single, you out there, you doing your thing, it's this one and this one, she got a shout dress on, that's that one. But at some point, you know, in relationships, whatever it may be, married, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, if I were to cheat, it would simply be because I nigga say it, I'm listening.
That's what she said from the back.
It would be because of, and it's no real excuse for that, but it would be because of something. I'm choosing the motherfuckers wisely. it would be because of something going on in my household that we've been married 18 years, and those coming up through those years, you know, if it was something I disliked, I would come to you and say, "Hey man, this is what I dislike. Please stop doing that."
Say, nigga, she typed it on here. Choose your words wisely.
I already know it, man. So, most of the time, it's something internal that will trigger, so to speak, a man to cheat. But hold up, you know, this is what we need to back up.
All right, hold on, stop right there. I'm gonna help you out a little bit with this. So, first off, let's be clear. A lot of times, we're not talking about men cheating in marriages. We're talking about girlfriend dating situations, trying to get to that next level. So let me say this from this perspective. When we talk about men and cheating, a lot of times men step out of their current situation because we've had constant conversation about things we want to see done different, about things that, look, I just can't tolerate this no more. And so when a woman refuses, when a woman refuses to
Hold up,
make
kid.
changes,
Hold up, kid. This the setup. She done walked in here and say, "Speak your mind. That's the show. I know that's the show until this motherfucker over." You know what I'm saying? But hold up. This is what I wanted to say though. First of all, we need to back up on the topic because and I guess this is kind of another topic. We need to first define cheating. What is cheating? Because I talk on the phone to somebody, I get my dick sucked, we do it. What is cheating? Because you're gonna get 100 different answers with that. Women say shit, if you talking on the phone, you cheating. Why? Why? Because I can't meet new friends because I got a woman or I got a wife. What aspect becomes cheating?
well,
You meet some. I'm in women's house all day, all the time, hanging TVs, whatever. And if I'm there having a conversation and we ain't talking about TVs, am I cheating? Come on, wait a minute. Y'all chime in. Let me look at some of these comments.
yeah, the women gonna run from this one because they can't give you that perspective. But let me say this. I think a lot of time because there are unfulfilled circumstances, women will date you and do everything in the world when they date you. I mean, let's be real. You gonna get all the head you want, all the anal sex you want, whatever it is, however you want it, whatever it is. You can have a million threesomes with her and another female. But then the minute you say, "Hey, this the one, I'm gonna make her the one," this where I want to be, this what I want to do, this how I want to live. The minute you put that ring on her finger and announce her as the one, she changes. Now, why that is, I can't give that perspective to on why she changes, but I can tell you when any situation, when you stop doing what got you to a certain point, then there's a propensity for that other individual, be it male or female, I don't care how you look at it.
Right.
There's that propensity for that other person to go find that guy they dated or that female they dated all over again. Because I couldn't get it. Every morning I woke up when you was my girlfriend, I woke up to a shot of head. Now all of a sudden you my wife. And it was funny because I remember my ex saying, "Oh, mommies don't suck dick no more." But when you was the girlfriend, I couldn't get your mouth out of me.
Yeah.
So whatever you do going into the situation, and I'm talking men and women, you got to continue to do that because that is what that person has fell in love with. That person didn't fall in love with the thought of being in love. Because we all can just be by ourselves if that's the case.
Oh, you might be right. Bruh, it's I'm right there with you because my dad always told my mom I wasn't. I'm a dad. My mom always told me, son, don't start nothing you can't finish. And I know this may sound fucked up, ladies. I do it every now and then, but every time me and my wife get in the car, I'm not opening the door for her. Because if it's fucking pouring down rain and we got to get to the car, she got to get to her side and I need to get to mine. And she understand that. But at the same time, I do what I'm supposed to do when it's time to do it. When she's old, she's now sometimes she'll I know when we going into places, I need to get the door.
Yeah.
That's it. But as far as the vehicle is concerned, I don't have to get the door all the time. She don't want me to get the door all the time.
Yeah, and I'll say this. We had a conversation about this at breakfast this morning. Man, when you're married, when you in a situation, when you're married, and I've asked you the same thing a million times. Hey man, can you watch your tongue? Like that's disrespectful for you to say that. Hey man, can you stop the cussing? Like every other word out your mouth is MF or SOB or like I'm not your homeboy, I'm not your coworkers. You can't talk to me as your man and deal with me like you deal with the other men in your life. Like that's not a true perspective of who I am and what I am to you. So when
Right.
you start treating me like a homeboy, I'm gonna start treating you like a homegirl because that's what we've done. We've minimalized the importance of each other in a situation called a relationship because you can't disrespect me as your boyfriend or as your husband like you do a nigga on the street. You're not going to talk to me like that. And when you feel as though you can, it's time for me to do something else. And a lot of times when you make that comment and say, man, it's time for you to move around, women don't respect it. So if you're not going to respect it, hey, I'm just finna do me.
So
I'm
so
not, I'm not going to put you out. I ain't going to beg you to leave, but I'm finna start doing me because what I see and what I have learned right now is that you for the street, you ain't for me.
well,
So when I know that you're not for me, when I know you really for the street, then I gotta let you be who you are.
but let me give it to you another way. Because I in these 18 years I've been through some of them things, and um, for me it was I need to let you understand, make you understand the magnitude of what I'm saying, because you know people look at it they look at it how you give it to them. Me, when I say something, for instance, I was going through some. We went through some years back, and it was, look, man, this is fucked up. What you doing? I need you to stop doing that. Now, when I did that, I put a time in my mind that shit should be rectified. Okay. Now, if we make it to that time in my mind again, we're gonna come back to the table. Look, man, we talked about this shit 2 months ago. It's still happening. What we doing?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
I put another time in my mind. When we make it to that time, I'm gonna sit our ass down and say, well, evidently we need to get a divorce or something. We need to separate or something. Well, what we need? Why? Because you don't have no respect for this relationship if you can't do what the fuck I asked you not to do. That means you don't want to be with me. You don't value the relationship if I got to keep telling you the same shit over and over that I dislike. Now, now, here's where and nothing can be said because I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna handle my end. Whenever it's hinted to me that she don't like something, she never see it again. She has never seen it again. That's what that's the communication. When you do this, I don't like. I guarantee you, I call in here right now and say, man, what did I used to do that you don't like that I'm still doing? There's nothing she could tell you. That's why when you take all the power from a motherfucker and they still not doing what they supposed to do, then me and her used to have arguments all the time about shit. And she'll say, "What you gonna do? You just gonna up and leave me? Nigga, if I leave you, I've been leaving you for years. I ain't gonna just up and leave. I leave you. I've been leaving you for years because you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do. If you're not handling your business on your side, because we both have business we need to handle. If I'm slacking in my macking, you're supposed to be checking it. If you slacking in yours,
yeah,
I'm checking in yours. But if I'm checking it and it ain't nothing happening, shit, what I'm gonna keep checking it for?
yeah. So Ron Love says it takes compromise and sacrifice in a
Hmm.
relationship to make it work. Absolutely true.
I gave up
Um,
all my hoes, Ron. I gave up all my hoes. That was my sacrifice.
yeah, Marcus Willis says when a woman loses respect for a man, it's over. He was like, y'all can talk to y'all blue in the face, but of course, every woman doesn't handle every man the same. Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct.
What's up, Mark?
Um, I would just say this: I'm never ever in a situation personally to where I'm gonna my peace to be with a female. I'm never gonna compromise my peace. So if you can't do the simple things in a relationship. If you want to treat me like you treat your homeboys, and I'm glad Davenport coming in here now so we can get a third perspective. If you want to treat me like you treat your homeboy, it really ain't no room for me in a relationship with you, because you can't treat me like you treat your homeboy. You, as a woman, you got a place. And I know women don't like hearing that they need to stay in a certain place, but as a woman, you got a place to be in and to stay in. What's up, Davenport?
What's up, Brett?
Man,
how you doing, Mr. Walker?
All right, that's my man Terry up there in the top side.
What's up, Sid?
What's up, Mr. Terry?
It's been 30 years since I seen you.
So, bro, we discussing why.
Yes, sir.
We discussing why men cheat. Let's get your perspective.
I say my perspective on why men. So it's various reasons, various situations why men cheat. First of all, I believe a man only gonna cheat as many as options. If a man got a lot of options, he gonna be prone to cheat more. Man ain't got that many options. He ain't got nobody to cheat with. So that's the first thing. So if you're a desirable guy, your cheat percentage is gonna be higher than an undesirable guy.
So I need to move to the country.
That's one thing that I feel. Another thing I feel is it's about the circumstances. You know, everything for me is circumstances. So we get put in circumstances and we're gonna do different things in different circumstances. So if a man may cheat, I like to use myself as an example a lot. You know, so I've been accused of being a cheater. I ain't gonna fess up to it, but I've been accused of being a cheater. So, and it's been different situations. You know, one situation could be my woman is not as sexual as I am, and not taking away the fact that I don't love her, but you know, I desire. You know, and you know that's something she's not up to, so that causes a man to cheat. You know, the type of the level of sexualness of the partner. So one situation could be a man may cheat because you know he may be working out of town, and you know he's been gone on the road for 2-3 months. And, you know, he just need to get his rocks off. You know, that's one situation. You know, I don't think no men just go out to deliberately say, hey, I'm gonna cheat on my woman. You know, men get put in circumstances. You know, sometimes we're not perfect. We're gonna make bad decisions. We're gonna make wrong decisions. We don't do everything right, but we don't do everything wrong either. So I just feel this is levels of situations that we get put in to make us cheat. And for me, if you're not married, you're single. So ain't no such thing as cheating if you're not married. I'm gonna end on that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said earlier. When we talk about from a cheating perspective, we got to be talking husband and wife, because if I ain't put a ring on your finger, it's almost impossible for me to cheat on you, because it ain't no commitment been made.
It ain't no commitment been made. We out here dating, and I've also been in situations where I've been, in my eyes, a good guy and not cheating, and come to find out I was being cheated on, you know, with several different guys, you know, and so that kind of put in my head, you know, hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. So I look, you know, I kind of took that, you know, in future in other relationships, you know, I had trust issues because I feel like I was being a good guy compared to type of guy I know I could be. And it just, you know, I didn't get, you know, I got the short end of the stick, and I wasn't really, you know, that really didn't make me feel too good. But, you know, I understand, you know, like I say, situations happen, you know, it may, in my situation, the women have cheated on me with guys who were had more money than me, and they was willing to, you know, they went with the money.
Yeah.
And found out once the money ran, I would try to come back, but you know, it'd be too late then. But I don't know. It's with this whole man woman. To me, it's all a game from my perspective, because as a woman, she's trying to win that man to make that man her only man. And as a man, I feel that, you know, he's trying to get that woman to make him his main woman or one of his women. You know, it's about, you know,
everybody trying to win.
You know, everybody trying to win. So, you know, because don't nobody want to go in no situation where they're taking an L or being upside down. So, you know, I look at, you know, people gonna do what they gonna do, long as, you know, everybody grown. You know, everybody have their desires and what they, you know, they wants and they needs or whatever they feel like. So, you know, they're gonna do what they want to do regardless, man or woman.
So let's flip the script a little bit, fellas. Let's go in a semi-different direction. So you and your girl out and about. I see you there, boy. I see you.
Oh yeah.
You and your girl.
You've been rolling with me since 9 o'clock this morning. You finally wore him out.
I see you more and out. You knocked out now, huh?
Yeah.
So you and your girl out and about. Some dude roll up. She introduced him. Hey, babe, this my friend John. John, this my boyfriend Sid. John, this my boyfriend Terry. Now this nigga done fucked your girl. Right. He done fucked her. So several times. So at one point she even kind of considered him a boo. Now, is she disrespecting you by saying this my friend? Shouldn't be saying should first off, should she even be introducing you to a nigga who used to smash her on the regular?
Well, that's the exact shit that happened to me Saturday. I walked in the spot getting me a drink. And both of them walked in front of me, they looked at me like, nigga, it's me. I said, oh, hey. Got my drink. As soon as I give him a drink, motherfucker grabbed my arm literally and pulled me and said, Terry.
He freezed it up.
Oh, he froze up.
Yeah, he froze. Give your perspective on it, Sid. We'll let him chime back in after.
Man, to me, I don't care. It don't matter to me because I know I done been the dude that got introduced to as a friend that the smashed 17 times. So it don't matter to me long as I don't see, you know, him disrespecting me right there in my face. I don't, you know, hey, it is what it is. I knew she wasn't no virgin when I met her, so I knew somebody that smashed her before. So I don't care. You know, like I say, and you know, he ain't me. So I don't really be worried about exes or dudes. You know, I may ask, you know, I may ask if the situation come up, hey, you know, if I see if the only situation I had where a dude that came up and with me and the, you know, lady friend of mine was out with, and he just, you know, he trying to talk to her behind my back, you know, doing the, and she, you know, trying to get her to go to the bathroom. I turn around and say, you know this dude? Oh, that's so. I mean, what's up? You know, because I felt the energy behind my back. You know, with him trying to, you know, talk to her instead of just, you know, it could have been cool. Hey, he could have came. Hey, Mary, how you doing? And you know, went from there. I wouldn't have had no problem. You know, I also had a situation before. I went to a comedy show with a chick, and she said, "I'm gonna go to the restroom." I said, "All right, I'm gonna go in line and get the drinks." Because you know, comedy shows have nice lines or whatever. So she come out the restroom. She don't come stand in line with me. She go stand on the wall. I look up. She talking to a guy. Hey, he, hi, and each other. So I'm thinking, you know, she know the guy. When I get our drinks, take it back over there too. I hand her a drink, and I kind of, you know, just step to the side. So, you know, I guess he felt uncomfortable now because I'm standing there. So we walk into our seats. He like, you wasn't gonna say nothing to dude trying to holler at me. Oh shit! Every time I look over there, you grinning and smiling. I thought you knew the niggas. I mean, knew the cat or something. So
Yeah,
you know that started the whole issue because I didn't say anything. You know, I don't care. You came with me, you leave with me. So who you talk to in between, you can get it. That don't bother me. So I've never been really too jealous or insecure about other men. You know, ex dudes. You know, stuff like that. So like I said, I know I'm confident in what I'm doing over here. So they ain't never really bothered me. And I always had a situation where, I've been, like I said, I've been the ex or the other dude, and they feeling, uncomfortable, insecure because of she still might have that look in her eye for me, but I done moved on. Once you miss the bus, you gotta sit there and wait on the next one. So once that bus passes, I don't try to go catch it. I'm gonna wait on the next one.
Yeah.
That's my perspective on that, man. So there's too many women out here for any man to be tripping about her with another dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm and with on the women part. So I just heard something the other day that made sense to me, and it came from a woman. And the woman said if every man had one woman, only had one woman out here, then it'll be a whole bunch of lonely sisters out here. And why would you want your sister to feel unloved? Why would you want your sister to feel that same love? So invite your sister on over here to the love you getting, and we share. It's all about love and happiness, like Al Green said. Love and happiness. So that's where I'm at right now, 54 years old. Yeah.
I hear you.
I don't worry about too many. I don't worry about no guys that women about my women or ex women have been with, or that. Hey, I'm happy for you. If you happy, if you love it, I like it. So I'm good with that. And it's a lot. All that stuff unnecessary to me. As grown men, I can see kids, high school kids acting like that. But grown men and grown women shouldn't be tripping about ex. I had a conversation tonight. A young lady was trying to explain to me that once you break up with somebody, you shouldn't be her friend no more. Like, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, we didn't. If we don't make it, just because we didn't make it romantically, or as a couple, don't mean we can't be friends. That's dumb to me. But she was like, you carrying baggage into the next relationship, and I was like, but she's a younger chick, so her mind hadn't developed there yet. So
yeah,
I went to one of my daddy's parties one time. Dad, I'm gonna put your business out here. I went to one of my daddy's. I think it was his birthday. He had 5 of his women now, ex and everything. Current ex, everything. They all getting along, happy, having a good time. I was like, shit, that's how it's supposed to be. Wasn't nobody tripping.
Let me tell you something.
They all there for it.
Once you have moved on, and T, I'm finna come to you and let you finish your point about it. Once you have moved on in a relationship or a situation, man, like for me and my ex, I could be in the room with her all night long because I have no desire to be in that situation ever again. And we can be cool as fuck, buy each other drinks all night. I can see her damn near getting butt naked on top of a dude. It ain't gonna bother me one way or the other, because at this point in my life, that's not something that I even have a desire for, no kind of way, period. Not even a little bit. So no, for me, like, nah, it absolutely wouldn't bother me, because as a grown ass man, like, whatever we had was what we had. And now you are an ex for a reason. I'm an ex for a reason. So when you make the decision to consciously go back into that situation, you shouldn't have expected that person to change, because they are who they are. And we've learned from the time we hit kindergarten that a leopard don't change its spots. They are who they are. So come on, finish your point, T, on the introduction process, on how or how Abu should be introduced to you. I can't hear you, T. You got to go out and come back in again, man.
Look like he got a microphone on mute.
I'm gonna just remove him and let him come back in. But yeah, I mean that's where I am with that situation. I'm where you are. Like I have enough security in me to where, say, man, I could absolutely care less what a woman had going on before me because I've yet to meet a woman and go into a situation thinking that, oh, I'm finna be the first nigga ever to get this pussy. Yeah. I mean, because I know somebody has been there before me. Now, when we talk about respect, like you was talking about the young lady coming, you came back after buying the drinks and she shooing with a cat. If we out, like, man, I'm not going first. Okay, let me give you a scenario of what happened to me with somebody. So we were at a bar and a dude told Kim, say, hey, Kim, come here, let me holler at you right quick. Let me tell you something. And she was like, oh, what's up? He was like, come here, man. So when he pulled her away and she came back, I was like, oh, what did he tell you? His homeboy want to holler at you? She started laughing. She was like, yeah. And she was like, why you start like, because I know niggas, man, that shit disrespectful. And she was like, yeah, I put that nigga in his place. I mean, I ain't, don't do that. Don't disrespect him like that. Or don't be disrespectful like that. I'm like, right. It's being niggas, but it's up to you as a female, just like it's up to me. Because it's women, and I tell her all the time, it's women in my inbox, and I'm sure in yours, that be very disrespectful, even though they may think or may not think. Like, it's women married with a, and the thing I don't do, the one thing I'll never do is a married woman. I'll never do a married woman. Churchill. I saw Church on there. I guess he can't hear me either. But yeah, man, just from that perspective of being disrespectful in those moments, like, unless you inviting somebody into my house, then I think that changes the perspective. Now, if you fuck this dude, I don't think me and him should be sitting in a party together in our house.
Right, especially if he came. So now, if he got a wife and he married, moved on, hey, I could deal with that. Okay, you brought your wife. Okay, that's your ex. But I mean, so my son, mama, my oldest son, mama.
Yeah.
Jarrell, mama. So me and her husband, we buddies. I love him. I love him as a man. When I see him, I like how he is. I like how she is with him. As many years we done been. But it's just the factor. Like I say, to me, dog, it's all about the maturity of your mind.
Yeah.
So if as a person, if a person hadn't been taught something, or a person hasn't been through something, then they won't know how to deal with something. So once you get put in a situation, most people gonna act according to how the people say they should act. But not being in that situation before, you can't put your finger on how to handle something if you hadn't done it before. You gonna go by what people tell you. But for me, life experience about everything. That's my teacher. Is life. So anything I talk about, I try to use stuff that I done been through, because ain't too many things I ain't been through for me, to not know how to speak on it or deal with it if I see it again. So like I say, dealing with the exes.
I got a question on something I know you got plenty of knowledge about. Because you came on here one night and made a comment, and people inboxed and asked me, I'm like, just go watch the show. How many goddamn kids does Davenport have?
I got 10.
You put everybody age on there, and
so for everybody who want to know how many kids Cedric Davenport got, this how many Cedric Davenport got. Cedric Davenport got 10 kids living. I got one deceased, and those are the ones that I know about. So if I got some somewhere else, I don't know about them. But I know I got 10 alive, and so all together I got 11 kids. And the oldest is 35, and the youngest is 10 weeks, and that's him right there. And the oldest is 35. I got 7 daughters, and from the age of 35 tomorrow, and the youngest one is before Saturday. So I got kids in every generation. 30s. I've had kids in my 20s. I had kids in my teens, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, and my 50s. God damn. So, but hey, I look at that, I think I did pretty good. I used to look at, people look at, man, how you have so many kids? I tell you, I ain't had none. I made 10. I ain't had none. So I can make as many as I want. Now if a woman come on here and say she got 10 kids, then you say, damn. But I made 10 kids. I ain't had 10 kids.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's I look at it as a blessing, man. That I'm able to still be active and present and relevant in my kids' life, no matter what age they are. That's how I look at it. Because I know my oldest kids, due to circumstances, I wasn't in their life for 6, 7 years. So me going to prison, so that I feel like having younger kids give me a second chance to be a daddy and to be a father and to be have more awareness about being a father and being present as a father. So like I already hit Dion and told him we coming. We coming. So man, but that's me on the kids. Says I love all my kids the same. I heard somebody talking about Nick Cannon saying he got so many kids that he can't love all of them the same. That's ridiculous. You can love all your kids the same, with the equal amount of love, because I don't even feel like it's no equal amount, because it's all. I love all my kids with all my love. I don't love not one of them less than I love the other one. So no matter what we done been through, or what done happened through life with any of them, or with their mamas, or whatever the case may be, I love all my kids with my whole heart. And I show them, I tell them, and it ain't, people say, man, kids expensive. They can be. Everything's expensive. Everything can be expensive, but it's how you live your life.
So man, I'm gonna ask you a question that people have asked me, and I've posted how I felt about our old high school, about Sterling and the athletes that I knew of over the years, the guys that came before us, the guys that came after us. But just from your perspective, bro, who would you say? And I'm gonna start with our era. Who would you say is the best football player you ever had a chance to play with in high school? Just high school alone. Who's the best football player you ever had a chance to play with in high school?
Play with?
Play with. Yeah, not against, but with.
Yeah, I didn't play with a lot of good guys. Let me see the best. So how do you rate the best as far as their success and or they just skill wise?
And he could be an underrated guy. Said he could be a guy who could have played quarterback because he was good enough to throw it, or he could have played receiver. He played on the defensive side and was tough enough on top, with making plays. And I mean, he could be somebody that was very underrated. But just from your perspective, man, like, if you had to rate the best guy you ever played with, and it might not be number one, it may be 3 or 4 of them. You can say, man, it's 3 different guys that I got to respect. Now, I'm not talking about toughness, because toughness is going to be my next question.
So I think probably the best player I can say I've been on the same team with in high school, I've got to say Jason Phillips. Jason Phillips, I mean, he was quarterback, but Jason was, he was receiver. He went to the league receiver. He was, that was my younger years, and younger varsity years, and moving up. Man, like I said, our whole senior team was the best. Some of the best players I had. The whole '87 team. I look at. I don't really put nobody higher than our senior year as a whole team. So I gotta say the whole '87 team, and the individual player, like I say, Jason Phillips was kind of like, you know, I've been knowing Jason since middle school, so he was always kind of like, you know, the cat I wanted to be like, you know, on the football field, you know, because they need something done, get the ball to Jason. You know, that's kind of player I felt like I was, so I kind of looked up to Jason as a football player.
Yeah. So I have to have this argument with these dudes all the time when I see them. So the class of 90, that class with Savoy and all them dudes, we just had this conversation again on Martin Luther King Day. Because for some reason, these dudes want to say in football and basketball, they say, man, like throw 88 out the window, throw 89 out the window. Like, man, nobody could handle us but y'all. So they said, Kevin, do you think y'all really could have beat us on the football field? I say, bro, I'm just being honest. I think we would have beat y'all by 4 touchdowns. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just my perspective. What's yours on playing against them same guys?
That class was a good team.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't tough as us. They wasn't as physical as us, you know. And I don't think they had the they didn't play the level of competition that we played either. I feel, you know what, but we definitely would have beat them, boys. You know, we man for man, we was a better team. Man for man, we was a better team. We'd have beat them. We'd have beat them pretty good because I don't see them running the ball on us. Who's they running back? I don't remember who their running back was.
I don't either. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they were more run and shoot then, but we had the secondary to shut all that down.
Yeah,
I think. Was Castile with them? Was Rodney Castile in that group?
I'm not sure. I don't know if Rodney was 90 or 91.
Oh, because I think, you know, Rodney Castile might have been our only problem because we shut Alan Woodard down.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had a chance.
He wouldn't have had a chance. Savoy would have been running for his life all day. With Cam Man on him, the Robert Ludd, all them linebackers we had.
I tell them all the time when they bring up the quarterback, I'm like, man, look, I got all the respect in the world for what numbers Savoy was able to accomplish. I just think, say, for me, at the end of the day, I just think Hemet was the better quarterback. Me personally. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Steve at all. I think Steve is a great person and did great in high school football at Sterling. But for me, I would take him in as my quarterback just for the toughness alone.
Right. And Savoy had the attributes. He had, you know, he was great arm, strong arm. You know, he threw a pretty ball. But like you said, overall, I had to go with him. I got to go with Satellite, you know, over Savoy. Savoy did a lot of. Savoy made, like I say, he set a lot of records. You know, had a lot of accomplishments. You know, which was great. I love Steve too, but overall, like I said, I'm gonna go with him and Edge just based on what I know of him and over. I've been knowing him since we was 4 years old. So we played Little League, so I always thought him was a good quarterback, you know, and then getting a chance to play with him, you know, him, he was tough. I don't see Steve being that tough back then, taking a lot of punishment. Him too. Hold on, man.
So go ahead. So then they bring up the basketball. They talk about class of 90 basketball versus class of 87 basketball. I say again, y'all had absolutely nobody that was strong enough or physical enough to handle Webb down low, and y'all guard would have been given fits off the dribble. Like there was nobody who was going to consistently take me, Davenport, and Frank off the dribble. Nobody did it when we were together. Nobody would have did it in y'all class. Like, nobody was going to consistently be aggressive and take us nowhere. Nobody. And we played against Chris Walker being at Milby at the time, probably one of the best athletes to come through the city as it relates to basketball. And hell, I shut him down 2 nights when we had to compete against him. So, you know, it is what it is. So let's see what Kurt Green said right here. Hemet was the toughest quarterback to ever come through Sterling. Look at all the great defensive players from other schools he played against. No, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that, Kurt.
Miss had to fix the box. What Kurt say? Hold on, man.
That he said Hemi was the toughest quarterback to ever come through. He was saying by looking at all the other great defensive players, you know, that he played, Tanner Dotson, Alvin that was at Jones at the time.
Alfred really connect. Yeah.
Canavis McGee.
That's why I was saying earlier. I don't think class of '90 would have been able to withstand the type of teams that we played, the type of players that we played against.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. So, well, man, it's not.
Hold on, man.
I'm gonna have to bring you back on so we can talk more shit, man.
All right. Here you go.
Yeah, he fussing now.
And he woke up hungry.
I'm gonna have you back on, man. We probably can hook up again next week so we can do a full show together. It's top of the hour. It's 9 o'clock hour. We're gonna shut it down. I'm gonna get out of here. On behalf of Cedric Davenport, my man Terry O'Neill, thank y'all for watching and tuning in again to What He Said with Kevin Walker. I see everybody making a class of 87 or 89 could have did this and they. Man, y'all couldn't have touched her.
Couldn't have touched it. Hey,
on behalf of the class of 87, it's my man Cedric Davenport. I'm Kevin Walker. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace out.